there, I'm Ken and you are watching Canadian Retro Things, and today I am going to be looking at my second VIC-20. I'm going to be revisiting this. If you remember, a long time ago, many months ago, I bought this second VIC-20 so that I could complete my first VIC-20, which was just missing a key. Then I tested this out to see if it works. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link up there and down there. So upon opening this computer, I discovered where there should have been two VIA chips, there was a VIA chip and a second VIC chip. So I removed that VIC chip, tested it out, it worked. The VIC chip in here works. I put in a VIA chip from my working VIC, and this board does work, except the power switch is permanently on. So I decided, well, I got to try and get the parts I need for getting this to work. Well, I looked for a VIA chip from a North American seller, and boy, do people want a lot of money for those. So I ordered from a couple of different sources in China because they were, a couple of bucks a chip rather than $40 or $50 a chip. So I have a few VIA chips here to test out. But this has taken a long time to get here because upon ordering these, they got held up at the Canadian border for at least, I would say, about a month and a half. And that wasn't where this all ended, but first we are going to check out to see if these VIA chips work. All right, so let's put in the first chip to test it out. I've got the penultimate plus cartridge from The Future Was 8-Bit in there to run the memory test if this works. Oh, came on for a second. Oh. Well, it seems to be working. So we're looking for utilities. Dead test. Well, there we go. It looks as if chip number 1 worked. Well, we can use this chip to further test this with when we get the keyboard complete. But I will test out the other two that I have, and but I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so well, actually only one of those chips worked, and interestingly enough, it was the first one that I tried. Neither of these two worked properly. As a matter of fact, I will throw up on the screen right now what it looked like when I put those in. And of course, this is what it's supposed to look like. So, yeah. I guess it's lucky that I ordered all of them, because, yeah, only one of them worked, but still, it was less than $10 to buy all three of these chips and have them shipped over here from China. So that's a lot better than taking the chance on buying one of the $40 or $50 ones on eBay around here. But the next thing was that I needed one stem and the 4 keys there and 2 keys on the side, and this computer would be complete again. So I had a look around, and yeah, there were not a lot of places selling any C64 keys. I could have bought stems. They were a dime a dozen. So I decided I would look to see if I could find a complete keyboard that maybe I could drop in here. Well, those were uber expensive. So I actually went and picked up another entire VIC-20. Yes, I know I have a problem. And yeah, so it was about half the price to pick up an untested VIC-20 over buying just a keyboard. And as you can see, this one has the entire keyboard. So I guess now I have to take this one apart and take a look and see what's going on inside of it. And this is a slightly different one because the two that I have take the figure of 8 plug, and this one takes the C64 power plug. So let's get taking this apart. Now, as you can see, this computer is very disgustingly dirty, but the keyboard is complete. And there is the serial number. The back end's pretty good, except for a couple of broken air vents here. All 3 screws are there. It's looking pretty good. And there's the joystick port, power plug, and power switch. So, let's take this apart. And this looks like it was probably kept outside. It's got lots of cobwebs and other crap inside, so I guess we have to clean that. Okay, so looking at this board to get this rusty backing off, I've got a lot of spots that I have to desolder. So right now I'm just going to continue doing a little bit more cleaning on it. Still a few spots where there's a few cobwebs and whatnot, so all right, well, I kind of want to just plug this thing in and see what happens. So first we will test the fuse. Fuse is good. So I will go grab my Commodore 64 power brick and we'll see what happens before I take this apart any further. Okay, I have the power plugged in, so here goes nothing. We've got power and a black screen. Let's see if it does anything with the cartridge in it. I have sprayed large amounts of contact cleaner into that cartridge slot, so, and cleaned it out very good before I put the cartridge in, so. Giving power to the cartridge. The red light is on it. But yeah, it's a dead duck for now. Alright, so I've spent the last couple of hours doing a little chip swapping with the working board. And yeah, I was just trying out a few of the possible suspects. So I tried out the VIC chip and the VIA chips and the kernel. And then I switched the 6502 out, and look what happened. So I started recording, and now we're going to run the dead test and see what happens. Now it is very dark, so there is a pot in here that you can adjust. There we go, nice and bright. So let's let this run. And there we go. Everything passed. So this is a working board. Believe it or not, after how dirty this was, it works. Well, I'm going to stop right here. It's interesting that what started out as a video of getting my second VIC-20 going turned into a video where I picked up a third VIC-20 and have now got it going. I still need a little bit of work done on this one. I've got to get the backing off, get rid of all this rust, get the keyboard working, and finish cleaning up the case. But once all that is done, then I will have a VIC-20 that is completely different than the first one I got, because it's got the shorter board and it's got the different power plug on it. So I'm really happy to have this one in my collection soon. But I'm still not giving up on that second VIC-20. I just need to now need a 6502 for it, and still need the keys for the keyboard. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this look at my ever-increasing number of VIC-20s that I have. And if you did, you know what you can do with the liking, the subscribing, and or the commenting below, because anything and everything you do is always greatly appreciated. I just have to say that I am absolutely amazed with the number of spider webs and dead bugs and everything that was on this board. It's working. Wow.